Oh, perfect. Okay, we're back.
Okay.
And we've got Tom in a chair that I can scope the camera in on. And so let's go ahead and just talk through some of the things. So you were born here. Now, and what year were you born, Tom?
33.
33. And how many siblings did you have?
One. Jean.
Jean, yeah. We did an interview with Jean.
Yeah.
So what was life like back that you remember? What's some of the early memories you have about this location where Morey's
Well, it was during Depression, and it was tough to go. You know, the person that owned the place at that time, his name was Dave Winograd, and he said he took home $12 a week, and my dad took home 10.
Well,
Yeah.
he was very fair.
Yeah. And we rented the rooms here. We had to pay $9 a month for the rooms. And we were here about 9 years before we built the house back by your dad's place back on Chestnut Street.
Okay, all right. So what kind of holidays and events and family celebrations did you have as a child?
Oh, well, we get together for Christmas and Thanksgiving on the Morey side and the Hut side on the Christmas side in those days. And usually went to Greeley, the grandma was there, and then my aunts and uncles lived here in Windsor, and so we'd go to their place. And Oklahoma District, one of them lived.
Oh, okay.
And we went out there to barn dances and box socials and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
At the old schoolhouse.
Oklahoma School District's on County Road 15 South, isn't it?
Yeah.
Up that way somebody lives in it now, but that was...
I had a
Was Jane
cousin
Smith your teacher?
Pardon?
Oh, you didn't go to school out there,
I didn't go
though.
to school there. My cousin did. And I stayed, all my 12 years was right here in Windsor.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So, did your parents change any of their holiday traditions over the years, or were they always
Well, main thing, just getting together.
just getting together and being with family?
Yeah.
All right. So, did you ever serve in the military, or did you stay here your whole life? Did you,
Well,
after
2
high
years in
school?
the service, I was in Germany.
You were in Germany. What years was that?
That was 54 to 56.
Okay. What branch?
Army,
Army. Where in Germany did you serve?
near Frankfurt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Augsburg, Frankfurt area, that?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you meet your wife, Pat?
Wife's jewelry store owned a jewelry store here, and her brother was running for their uncle in Greeley. And she came up to help him to get ready for a sale. And they went out to eat at the restaurant next door, and Mom and I went up to eat, and we knew Jack. I never knew her. And we sat with them to eat, and that's met her there on a Saturday night.
Oh, so Pat was from Greeley and Weiss Jewelry.
Yeah, well, Jack was. His sister was just helping him get there ready. Yeah. Because she was still going to school at Colorado Women's College.
Okay.
At that time. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, how long were you and Pat married before she passed away?
60 years.
60 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was a wonderful person.
Yeah. It was such a shock, you know. But then you look back and there's some good out of this. She had to go to a nursing home. You know, I think that's, if I could go that way, I want to go that way too.
Yeah. God smiled on her and took her quickly, but you didn't have time to prepare.
Yeah.
So.
Because it's Christmas, the day before, it was Christmas. Everybody was there. We went to bed that night, and she said, "This is the best Christmas we ever had." And gave her a good night's kiss because she was still in that wheelchair, you know. She went back to her bedroom, and I said, "Well, I'll see you tomorrow." Well, I come home the next day, and she was gone. So no indication of whatsoever being sick or anything, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest part, because I was getting ready to go to California again and get all his plans, and it just stopped. That's it. Yeah.
But you have your kids who live here in Windsor?
If I lived in Timbuktu, I wouldn't stay there very long. You know. No. Yeah. Just see, like Dana just come down. She takes care of helps me keep the house clean with it. She pays for my house cleaning, and Doug plays for my golf and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, so you're still golfing, huh?
Oh yeah.
Senior golf or what day?
Every Tuesday.
Every
We're in
Tuesday.
that thing with, well, Kent and Bruner set it up. That
Yeah.
time. Yeah, that's how, I played Tuesday.
Okay, how's the
Yeah.
golf game?
Not that good, but I'm having a good time.
That's what counts.
Yeah.
You get, the more times you swing your club, the more times you get, more buck for the,
Yeah, give 'em for the.
more swings for the buck.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, it's a neat deal out there for older guys. It really
Yeah,
is.
that's at Water Valley
Yeah.
Golf Course. Before that course came in, was there other golf courses in Windsor that you used to
Well,
play?
never played on. They had a 9-hole sand one up on top of the hill with no grass, no water, no nothing. You just played in the prairie, and then they had a little sand for the greens.
Yeah, that was
Back in the 50s.
in the 50s. It's on the bluffs as you drive towards Greeley.
Yeah.
Is that 257 that you're driving on?
Yeah.
As it goes east of Windsor, and heads south?
You can't see it anymore, but for a long time you could see some where the greens were, and where what's so-called clubhouse was a gully with a board in front of it. You walk back into it. Yeah. But I never played that.
Okay. How old, you would have been too young, huh? Well.
Yeah, I was, but some of the guys in my class, like Charles Fry and Smody, went out and oiled the greens for those guys, worked for them. Yeah, but I never got that job. They seen it,
Yeah, I heard about it. I never saw it. So, all right. So, let me think. So, what was the graduations, weddings, reunions? What were some of those like?
Well, the graduation was 30 kids in my class.
In Windsor.
And knew every one of them, like that. And we did a lot of stuff together. We still do. We still have our class meeting. Class reunion. Every year we meet at Hoff's house.
At Hoff's house.
Just later years we decided to go every year who can make it. But it's dwindling way down. About half the class is gone now. Yeah.
What year did you graduate?
In 51.
51. Okay, and that's when Morey's Glass was established
Yeah,
too. All right. So, did you go on to college or go into the military right after that?
I went to college for a couple of years, and then went to the military for 2 years, and then come back and finished in Greeley in 2 years. So, so I graduated with Carolyn Fiegel. I didn't know her then, but I remember her going across the stage at Christmas time in 57.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What was your major in college?
Business.
Business. That's why, do you think that helped you be a good businessman?
Well, it helped get jobs too,
Yeah.
Yeah, because I went to Denver first and worked for Busley Supermarkets down there. Helen Hines, I lived behind her, that was her husband's. He was a Busley.
A Busley.
And I stayed there, and then this little place came, Roy Reynolds wanted to retire because I worked for Roy while I was going to college. And he said, why don't you buy this from me? So I did. So I bought Roy's Market, Pat and I did, for about 10 years. Then Kodak came, and it was such a big boom that you couldn't keep up with it in the little store. He had to come to big stores and stuff. So I come down to help Dad because he was ready to retire. And then I went out and applied to Kodak for a job, and then come down and help Dad. And then this boomed. So I just stayed. I told Dad I'll just keep the shop.
Keep the shop.
Yeah.
So Kodak came in 69, but...
Yeah, about in the late 60s, yeah.
Yeah, they started. So you had more, what was the name of the grocery store and the location? Tom and Pat's.
Yeah.
And was on Main Street?
Yeah, on south, across from Sam and Molly's. Yeah.
Across from Sam and Molly's, 2 grocery stores.
Yeah. Well, we had more than that. We had cold storage was still selling groceries, and the mercantile was selling groceries.
Oh, really? The
Yeah.
cold storage was there on 3rd Street, just east of Town Hall. So what's in the present location of where your Tom and Pat's grocery store was?
Say what again?
What's in the store where you used to have your grocery store? So I can get
A little flower shop, I think.
The little flower shop,
I
okay.
think that's the building.
Then it became Sheridan Savings and Loans after you closed.
Well, there was next door to it.
Okay.
There was what was in between there? I can't remember now for sure.
But it's,
yeah. Oh, Ross's clothing store come over, and he set up during the time, so we make that work, and it didn't work for him, so then they sold it to Little Flower Shop.
Little Flower Shop. Okay, so I do know, I know the clothing store.
Yeah.
think I bought a pair of leather gloves there in 1974, 75, and they
Yeah.
were wonderful quality. So Windsor doesn't really have a clothing store now.
No, you can't buy a pair of socks in town. And then we had 3 clothing stores. We had Olson's, the Mercantile, and Kroski's.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So why do you think there's been so many changes?
Well, we changed too fast. You know, we have to. You know, when they closed the sugar factory, we thought, boy, this is really going to hurt. And well, it kind of did until Kodak came. You know, and then it turned around and went the other way. But you have to grow. But sometimes we grow too fast now. We can't keep up with the schools. We have a hard time with the fire departments, you know, and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, right now, I think the housing is growing. It's, you know, it's 2019, and we're one of the fastest markets for houses, but we need more businesses too to support those for the schools and pay the way.
I don't know. I see we're going to get a Jack in the Box restaurant.
Oh.
Down there by that care center that they built.
Okay.
That's what's going to be there.
That's what's going in. So were you on the town board or town planning?
I was on the planning board.
Planning board?
First planning board I was president of. When the first Kodak came, and they said you got to get a planning board going, and we got it going, you know. And then I was on the fire board for about 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what kinds of things did you see happen on the planning board?
Well, there was a big change too right away, because we built 1 or 2 houses, and then all of a sudden here comes Wheeler, and they start building back through there, and Kodak, they made sure they hired a lot of people from Greeley, Loveland, and Fort Collins, so that people could commute, so you wouldn't have that big boom here right away. You know? Yeah, they was good for us. Kodak was good for us.
What were some of the toughest decisions you had to make on the planning board? Did you have to say no to some things, or?
Oh, well, on the roads, you know, we was trying to get a bypass made too.
You were back then.
For the one Kodak Road, and just stay on this side of the river and come out the county line. And when I got with Shoalwater from Johnstown, who was in the Senate, if they buy property, they got to use it that year. They can't buy the property and say, well, we're going to build a road in 2 years. And then Cadup's donated that property to school and stuff, and then got houses in it and couldn't get bypass.
Where Skyview is.
Yeah.
So what was the truck bypass route you were going to take?
Well, this side of the river, just so we didn't have to put in a river bridge.
Okay.
And we were just going to stay on this side of the river bridge and come back out 257, but it didn't work right. But that's okay. Yeah.
What road is that now that runs by Skyview? What's the name of that street?
Oh.
Stone Mountain? Is it Stone Mountain Drive that runs by Skyview?
Yeah.
And then it catches on 7th, and then from 7th they were going to...
Garden Drive, isn't it?
Garden Drive.
Yeah.
Garden Drive.
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes around,
That was going to be the truck route in 1969.
Yeah. Well, it's still been a little further over to the west, to the south, but in
Somewhere
that area.
through there.
Yeah. So now we have to fight traffic problems, which really is a problem, but that's what it's going to be, you know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a drainage was another. Going to put in a new sewer plant. Well, Kodak come and says, no, don't. We'll give you the land. We'll join you, and we'll build one way down by us. Because otherwise, it was going to be right where Water Valley is right now.
Oh no!
Yeah, we're out on Bruner's Farm is where the first one was going to go across. You know. So
where Governor's Farm housing development is now.
Yeah.
Off of between 7th and 4th.
So that made it good because it built it nice, and it's still. It handles for about 25,000 people, that sewer plant will.
The sewer plant will?
Yeah.
Well, aren't we at about 25,000 right now?
Well, we're past that.
Yeah.
But they don't use all the sewer system, you know, up on the hill. They go to the South Collins Lebanon one, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so big decisions you made. Was there any conflict on the planning board or anything that you had?
Well, you had to work, you come up with something, then you had to meet with the town board to get it approved. You know, whatever you suggested. We worked together, and Kodak had a guy right on there with us because we knew what was happening, you know, thing. So, yeah, that was, they had some big decisions, but whether to hook onto the water line with, because Northwell kind of wanted us to go in with them. We said, no, we're with Greeley, we'll just stay with them. Well, we probably should have gone with Northwell too. Well, now we are.
Yeah, we have both Northwell.
We could be in.
So why, I know this is an issue that Windsor, we buy our water right now from Greeley for, is that correct? Was that an option back when Kodak came, or why did we not start our
Well, it
own?
wasn't an option, we was doing it. We was buying from Greeley this whole time.
Okay,
Okay. And then we started buying our own water from, and then get it processed too, so now.
we have a sewage treatment plant, but we don't have a water treatment plant.
No, we have to pay somebody to process the water, yeah.
And was that an option back in the late
Well,
sixties?
not then, it wasn't.
Because we were, how big were we in the late sixties? How big was Windsor?
Oh, at that time, probably about 12,000, I guess, something like that, yeah, yeah.
Was it 12,000? I thought it was, when I moved here, I thought it was 5,000,
Well, it could
7,000.
have been less.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but
Well,
well, I
Kodak
guess somebody,
it started.
it started growing. It did start
Yeah.
growing a lot. So we may move our camera because we have some visitors out there in the shop who are kind of loud. We might turn off the camera for a minute and go someplace where we don't get the background noise, but we'll be right back, okay?